Now we discuss about the software MTech software engineering subject, software requirement estimation. First we discuss about why this subject is required, software requirements and management. So first of all, the need of software professionals and project managers want to deliver the quality software product on time within the budget and relatively stress-free environment from the start of the project, whereas project managers and senior analysts can use this book as a can use this total topic as a aid to perform their tasks. Novice software professionals can use the book as a understand and use of concepts right from the beginning. So this chapter, first chapter, we discuss about the software crisis and context of the software requirement and estimation. Now we discuss about the context of software requirements and estimation. In this one we provide the context of the this topic, and it gives background information of the software engineering life cycle models and explains the relevance requirements and estimation. It covers the basic concepts of these areas. First we explain about the what is software crisis. What is software crisis? First, in 1960s, from 1960s, there are many delayed projects that exceeded the budgets, and these products have the poor quality, and that computer industry is realized that software creation is not a simple, and they had thought like that. And almost 40 years now people are associated with the computer field, experience the problems, execution of software projects. They face problems for the execution of the software projects. This term is known as a software crisis. Software crisis is nothing but they experience some problems with the execution of software projects. The crisis is characterized by large incidence of runway projects. So mainly software was of a suspect quality, unreliable quality. Main crisis is comes with unreliable quality, suspect quality, and late. Software produced late and non-maintainable and difficult to maintain and inefficient and non-transportable. And there are many instances of customer dissatisfaction is there with the software product. So for that one, the software is needs to be engineered. It is need to be developed. First, in 1969, the scientist Fritz Pure he said that the establishment of the use of the sound engineering principles in order to obtain economically software that is reliable and work efficiently on the real machines. Software engineering as a discipline has been evolving since then. He said that the software is reliable and works on the machine. It is a real machine. So like that, this crisis continues for the long time, and we say one examples for the crisis, list of failures of the software. So one example is analysis of the database of 344 projects are showed as a average effort over 37% and schedule overrun of 32%. Some problem faced on the 1989 London, and in 1998 some Standish group is state that 19 out of 27 customer information system projects are projects organization is be has be failed. These projects are failed. 19 projects are failed out of 27. And then one more, 1969 NATO submitted a report listing the causes for problems faced on the software. Many of the problems are lack of understanding of system requirements by customers and developer, and unstructured methods for gathering and analyzing the requirements, and poor estimating techniques, no change management, difficulty monitoring process in the software project, and expensive or unavailable support tools. And this software crisis continues because of the shortage of the trained and skilled software project managers and shortage of the skilled software engineers, and suitable tools are not yet available for use. So in late 1970s, they saw the wide spread of evolution of the software engineering principles. In 1980s, they saw the automation of the software engineering and growth of the CAC, computer aided software engineering, in 1980s. And 1990s, they have seen the emphasis of management aspects of the project, use of the standard quality of the process models. In 1990s, they developed the standard quality of the process models. These are like ISO 9001, like that, International Standards Organization, and Software Engineering Institute Software Capability Maturity Model. They divide the projects software projects like according to Software Capability Maturity Model, CMM, it is called as in short form. These models help the organization to put their software development and management process in a place. They provide some certification and assessment schemes, compare organizations process against the requirement of these models. They have some 3 or 4 models for CMM5, CMM3, like this one. According to organization, they certify the level for the organization. These models are being increased, adapted by organizations that now believe as a process centric. The father of the CMM model is Watts, S. Watts. So many software professionals, they together uh, so the programmers are divided like this. So there are few first class programmers, and the super programmers working on a project would turn to better software than a typical software team working on the project to turn out the better software than a typical software team. There are some few persons that can caliber of the super programmers. So the quality of the software system is governed by quality of the process and used to develop and evolve it. So next topic is what is software and software engineering. So software is not just a code, and it is a development of software. It's not just writing a set of programs. Software comprises more than the code, and developing the software involves many activities in addition to the coding of programs. Developing the software involves many activities in addition to the coding programs. Software also includes the data structures and enable the program to hold the data and manipulate it, and the document describe the computer to use the programs. Here the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, IEEE standard. IEEE is nothing but Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, is a standard 610.12.1900, is defined as a software defines software as a computer programs, procedures, and possibly association documentation and data pertaining to the operation of a computer system. IEEE standard they define the software as a this software is a computer programs, procedures, and possibly associated document of data pertaining the operation of the computer system. They define this definition IEEE. The software system is made to solve the problem making the software. Therefore, they begin to understand the problem and then designing and constructing the software system to solve the problem. Mainly, they understand the problem and design and construct a software to solve the problem. So, to understand the software process, we have to recognize the systematic approach is required to execute the all engineering activities and proceed through the various stages. Next, we discuss about the software and software engineering. This topic is over. What is the software process going on? What is software? We completed software process. Once again, I'll explain. To understand the software process, we have to recognize the systematic approach is required to execute the all engineering activities and proceed through the various stages that go into the making software system. The engineering activities is need to be supported by umbrella of the management activities over the entire process. So next, software life cycle. What is software life cycle? The term software life cycle is used to describe the period of time that start with the software system is being conceptualized and end with the software is being discarded after use. So mainly software life cycle is we start the software system and then we conceptualize and end the software system at the end and discard it after the usage. So software lifecycle models the organization for various tasks of software engineering into phases. They divide into phases. So this one it specify how these phases are to be executed, including the manner in which these phases and tasks are iterate and overlap. How these phases are interact and overlapping. So here mainly the selection of the appropriate life cycle model is one of the first steps of the software project. We select the which type of life cycle That is a first approach, first step for the software project. According to project, we select the model, software lifecycle model. We discuss what are different life cycles, what is the software lifecycle. Afterwards, there are some different lifecycle models are there. First one is waterfall lifecycle model. So early versions of software lifecycle model can be classified as a waterfall lifecycle model and also called as a classical lifecycle model. This is a linear model, whereas the tasks that go into the making software system are performed sequentially in predefined phases. The lifecycle model, we take a figure, this one, the waterfall model. This can be, first we take the requirements, and then requirement is interlinked with the design, and the design project requirements, we take the project requirements and then we do the design. After design completed, we do the construction of the software, and constructed completed, and then we test the software if any errors are occurred, like that. And then deployment is the next. Deployment nothing but execution of the software, and then operations and maintenance of software, like that. There are different stages are there, like a waterfall. First, requirements, design, construction, testing, deployment, and operational maintenance. Like different phases are there. Like 6 phases are there. So these phases are completed after the previous phase, or next phase completed after the previous phase, like this one. So previous phase need not to be repeated after the next phase started. So previously software developers, they did not develop the software using the life cycle models. In first few days, the software development is essentially as a programming activity only, followed by the implementation, programming and implementation, few days, like before the software life cycle is there. So after this one, the extension of the programming and implementation, they can be done. So waterfall life cycle is which can be evolved with the time, puts together all three of the natural sequence, like testing, all this can be done. So how this 6 process can be done, I'll explain. First is how the evaluation can be done. In previous days, only programming and implementation can be done. They did not do the 6 phases like this one, only programming and implementation. Afterwards, they do the testing, like development and testing and implementation. After some years, they do 3 phases, like development, testing, and implementation. So for that one also some problems they occur, and then they do the next next year 10 years, they do the 4 phases, like development, design, they design the project and then develop the project, then testing and implementation, and then at last they do these 6 phases, like requirements and then design and then construction, testing, deployment, operational maintenance. So like the evaluation of the this waterfall life cycle. So previously only 2 phases, and 3 phases, and 4 phases, and 6 phases. This is the evaluation. So in this one, in the 6 stages, I'll explain first requirements phase. So requirement phase is nothing but, in this phase, what the software system is to be defined. It involves the extensive participation and ends with the approved set of requirement. what are the requirements are needed for the software project. Like, so software requirement specification can be done, SRS, based on the work of the project. Based on the further work of the project, we specify some softwares like software requirement system specification. So next one is design phase, how the system can be defined, the design phase. So project design, how the uh, system can be defined, we see here. Here the problem definition is specified as the software requirement specification is translated into design phase. These requirement specification can be translated into design to solve the problem. So this design phase is like a bridge between the user what the user wants the code can be created to satisfy the requirement. What type of code can be used for the requirement according to the requirements. This is a bridge between the these requirements and the code. So like so, so design phase can be split into architectural design and detailed design, like two phases. The design, architectural design is there and detailed design is there. Two phases are there. And next one is construction phase. So design phase is the bridge between the code and the requirements. According to requirements, which type of code we have to decide in the design phase. So in the construction phase, the code can be written into the construction during the construction phase. So compared to the all phases, this phase can be executed by the last team. The user manual also written this phase, construction phase. So next one is testing phase. So in the construction phase, total project implementation, total project coding can be done in the construction phase. And then testing phase, code can be developed and testing during the testing phase. It involves the unit testing for the low level components and integration testing for the group of the components, low level testing for the level of the components, and integration testing for the group of components, and testing the whole system, integration testing. Last activity of testing is usually that of acceptance testing. It validates the system to fulfill the user needs of the requirements. User needs can be tested by the acceptance testing. Like that, three phases are there in testing: unit testing according to the level, and then integration testing according to group of components and whole system, and then acceptance testing according to user requirements. Like testing, three phases are there. Next one is deployment phase. System finally made operational in the deployment phase. So main activities in this phase is including training of the users, installation of the system, switch over the external from the existing manual and semi-automated and automated system to new system, switching between the one system to another system. So total system made to be operational, like total project can be deployed, can be executed, completed, and then is ready to be operational. That can be done in the deployment phase. Total project is ready to be operational. Next, last phase is operations and maintenance. So in this one, the system thereafter rolls out into the operations and maintenance phase. During this phase, leftover the defects are corrected, and if required, the system is made to be efficient and New requirements are added in this one, and existing functionality and features are modified to meet the change in the business needs. According to business needs, there are some features can be modified, and the new requirements can be added. Like this phase is called as operations and maintenance. So mainly this waterfall life cycle has some advantages. According to these are, like, this model is well defined phases and well defined outputs, and it recognizes the sequence of software engineering activities that shall result the software project. So there are some disadvantages also there. This model assumes the requirements to be clearly specified at the beginning of the project. The model has no mechanism to handle the changes to the requirements. We don't have to change the requirements like this one. That option is not there. Identify because of the design of the construction activities. So, and then one more disadvantage. This model reduces the user involvement between the design and testing phase of the project. This creates the gap, reduces the user feeling of ownership of the model, provides the no, so users cannot involve between the design and testing. Users cannot be involved, but the only project what only programmers can be involved between the design and testing. So next disadvantages, for the large projects the users have to wait the long time. For the large projects, the they have to wait for the long time for the delivery of this system. Requirements may change in the system of redundant time, so some time wastage is done, waiting of time. So one more disadvantage, it is essentially inflexible. Software creation activities can be compartmentalized. So this model can be of the iterating model. So for this model has some disadvantages are there. To remove these disadvantages, we use the next life cycles, like other life cycle models are there to remove these disadvantages. So next life cycle is the V life cycle model. V life cycle model, next life cycle. Waterfall life cycle has a trend to view the testing of the single phase in the life cycle. So V life cycle has a model. It's shown the figure is like this, V shaped, and then for first is requirement stage, and then design, it is linked with the design, and then coding, and then in the coding the unit testing can be done, and the unit testing again linked to the system testing, design also linked with the system testing, and the requirements also linked with the acceptance testing. So all the testing can be linked. The users can be here, the requirements also can be changed, acceptance testing, and then deployment and operational maintenance. Some modifications can be done, and according to the some disadvantages of the waterfall life cycle. So they divide the life cycle into development and testing phase. This model relates the each development phase as associated with the testing phase. Development phase associated with the testing phase. So this life cycle works on the testing phase carried into the parallel to testing phase is carried parallel to the design phase, development phase. For example, acceptance testing planning activities. This phase can be carried out to the requirements phase. We take the requirements. This requirement phase is parallel to the acceptance testing, like this one. Testing plan is planning activities, and testing phase need not to be wait for the unit testing is to be completed. The V lifecycle model has advantage of testing activities are explicitly emphasized, and V model also linked to the testing activities with corresponding to the specification according to the encouraged preparation of the testing plans. So all disadvantages are over in the V lifecycle model. This is situation. So defining the requirements in many situations is some tricky one is there. For every situation, they defining the requirements. There are also some disadvantages for defining requirements for every situation. Detection of some missing or incorrect requirement at the latter stage extremely expensive. Some expensive task is there in terms of the delays and in delivery, increase the cost and poor quality of software. It also recognize the software project often take the long time that the requirements change over this time. So this life cycle model describes the earlier to the changing the requirements. So according to this, they develop one more life cycle, prototype life cycle model. Prototype life cycle model. So next class we discuss about the prototype life cycle model and incremental life cycle model.